We are finally here. We have finally made it to the World Series in this Mets franchise. If you missed last episode, Game 7 against San Diego, David Peterson came through 13 strikeouts, brilliant performance, and we won in 7 games against San Diego. We'll be playing the Angels, who beat Baltimore, who beat the best team on paper, Texas, and then they beat Cleveland in 6 to get to where we are now. Let's take a look at their roster. Of course, they got Mike Trout, Reed Detmer, Zach Neto, Patrick Sandoval, Hunter Harvey, Gavin Lux they have. Interesting. And then we get to the low 80s, high 70 overall guys. So on paper, they're not really that scary. We definitely have the better team on paper. They still got Anthony Rendon. We definitely have the better team on paper, but that doesn't mean anything because like we've been saying, Texas has the best team on paper in this whole game, and the Angels beat them. So it doesn't mean anything. We got to go out and do it. Let's get in to the World Series. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that presentation. Logan Gilbert taking them out in Game 1. He was brilliant in his first 2 starts this postseason. Absolutely brilliant as he pitched against Miami in Game 3 to close that out. And he pitched against San Diego, and he was brilliant against them as well. I think that was Game 3 or 4. I think it might have been 4. Yeah, Game 4. Anyway, then you see the Angels lineup. If you missed it, go back and take a look. But we ran over the roster, so you probably know. In the first, Mike Trout looking on the slider, so it's a clean 1-2-3 first inning to start this World Series off for Logan Gilbert. We're going up against Reed Detmers, 0-2, but he has 4 postseason starts, of course, because they had the wild card round, so they had the extra game. So 4 starts, 3.24 ERA. He's been solid for them as well. It's Brandon Nimmo with 1 out, 3-1 count is driven into deep right center field, going back as center fielder and the right fielder, but they're going to look up and watch it. 1 hop off the wall. It's a 1-out double for Brandon Nimmo to start things off in the first. Next batter, Kyle Tucker, 2-1 count. That's a line drive into right field, but right there is Oscar Colas, the right fielder. Tagging, though, and going to third is Brandon Nimmo, and we got a guy on third with 2 outs for Pete Alonso. Can he come through against the lefty? He can. Base hit. No, diving play by Brandon Drury. Keeps it in front, gathers, and just gets Pete Alonso in time as Brandon Drury saves a run in that first inning with a nice diving play. He's up to lead off the second, but he goes down swinging. 2-2 count for Yohan Moncada, and he's going to go down swinging as well. I'm assuming the Angels and White Sox made some type of trade for Moncada and Oscar Colas probably, but they both go down swinging in the second. Logan Gilbert strikes out the side there in that second inning. Bottom half of the second, lead-off walk. Those are always usually trouble. It's Luis Robert, though, and it's not trouble with this Mets team because it's a double play. Hopefully, that's not a sign of things to come like it was in the NLCS. Soler up now with 2 out, and he's going to beat the shift. Little slow, lightly hit ground ball to right, past the second baseman. Brett Beatty up next. He's having himself a good postseason, and he lines that one in deep right field. Colas going back. He's looking up. It is out of here. A home run, 2-run home run for Brett Beatty. His second home run of the postseason, and he hits the first home run of this World Series to give the Mets a 2-0 lead with 2 outs in the second. 2-run shot from Brett Beatty And oh man, he has been good. He's been coming through with runners in scoring position, getting good base hits, always getting on base. He's having himself a great postseason, which is really making me change my perception of him. Remember, I was annoyed with him because he seemed to always get hurt. He wasn't having the best year, but this year, even though he was hurt for 2 months yet again, he had good numbers when he was in there, and he's having himself a great postseason. Only his second home run, but I'm telling you, he has been coming through with some big hits after big hit, and that's about as big as you can get in the World Series, setting the tone early in Game 1 with a 2-run shot. In the top of the third, it's Joe Adell. He is going to line one into left field. Nimmo's going back towards the wall. He's trying to line this one up. Can he time this right? No, he can't. He just jumped maybe a little too early, and that one just sneaks out of here to left field. Joe Adell's 4th home run of the postseason, and the Angels get one right back. They cut that deficit in half. It's 2-1 Mets. Still in the third, they got a guy on with Mike Trout, and he hits one to semi-deep left field, but Brandon Nimmo's going to be there to make the play. Could have been scary right there with Mike Trout up. Remember, we couldn't get Fernando Tatis out in the NLCS, so we're hoping Trout's not that guy for the Angels here in the World Series. Base hit for Nimmo in the third. It's Kyle Tucker with one out, and he's going to hit one deep to right field. If it's fair, it's gone, and he bat flips it no matter what. That one is out of here. Another 2-run shot for the Mets. This time it's Kyle Tucker, his 3rd home run of the postseason. He's been heating up late in the NLCS, and now here in Game 1 of the World Series. 4-1 Mets. Next batter, Francisco Lindor hits one deep to left field. Left fielder Joe Adell looks up and watches that one get out of here. Another home run for New York as Francisco Lindor, his 2nd of the postseason. Remember, career high 34 homers in the regular season. He hits his 2nd this postseason, batting righty. Next up, Luis Robert. He rips a base hit into center field. Reed Detmers is getting hit hard here in this 3rd inning. Next up, Soler already has a homer. What do you do? He hit a base hit to right field, and that one's up the middle. He hit a homers in the NLCS. I keep forgetting. Luis Robert goes 1st to 3rd, almost gets thrown out with 2 outs. It was kind of stupid, but he gets in there. Brett Baty up again. He comes through yet again. Another clutch base hit, and it's 6-1 Mets in the 3rd. We just pounded Reed Detmers today, and he's out of there. Couldn't even finish the 3rd inning. 6 earned in 2 2/3, and he's responsible for those guys on 1st and 2nd, so we'll see if his bullpen can get him out of it. It's Francisco Alvarez, but he is going to pop up to 3rd base. Yo Moncada is under it, and he should be able to make this play with ease as the 3rd inning ends. 6-1 Mets. In the 4th, the Angels do get a guy on 2nd for Oscar Colas, and he bloops one into center field. Luis Robert dives but can't make the play, and Colas goes to 2nd, but he is out by a mile. So luckily the runner scored before Colas got thrown out for the Angels, but it's 6-2. Angels get one back. 4-run Mets lead, though. In the 5th, it's Logan Gilbert still looking strong. A strikeout there to end the 5th inning. And we go to the 6th inning. It's Anthony Rendon. 2-2 count. He goes down looking beautifully. Dotted fastball at the top of the zone. Mike Trout up next. He already has, a strikeout or 2 to his name, but that's another one. Slider, Brandon Drury. 2-2 count on him, and he's going to chop that one to short. So Logan Gilbert, 6 innings, 2 earned. And he pitched great. And no matter what, the offense was there for the support, but still 6 innings, 2 earned. We'll take that every time. Dylan Coleman on for the 7th. We're keeping the same order we had, even though it's a 4-run lead. Coleman, Munoz, and Edwin Diaz has been our go-to, but Munoz and Diaz has been getting used a lot, so we'll see what we do in the 7th inning. Coleman with a couple strikeouts here, and it gets a 3rd one there in the 7th. Dylan Coleman was fantastic. We ended up going to Scott Barlow in the 8th because we had the 4-run lead. He immediately gives up a leadoff walk to Logan O'Hoppe, so Munoz was just a little bit tired. If he was on full rest, I definitely would have gone to him. He's a little bit tired, though, so we were trying to see if we could sneak by with Scott Barlow. 1 out, 1 on. That's a base hit up the middle for Rendon. It's getting a little scary now because Mike Trout is up, 3-2 count, but he is going to fly that one into right. Kyle Tucker's going to be there to make the play. Runner is not going to tag with that speed. It's 1st and 2nd, 2 out, and I've seen enough of Scott Barlow. I didn't want to take any more chances. We're going to bring in Andres Munoz, who's been pitching a lot lately, but he's been pitching good. So we're bringing him on, try to get this last out here in the 8th inning and send this one to the 9th, up by 4. as it's Brandon Drury, and he's going to strike out swinging out of fastball high up in the zone. 101 miles an hour from Munoz, and that's how the top half of the 8th ends. Bottom half of the 8th, we get 2 guys on with 2 out. Brett Beatty hits it hard, but right at the second baseman. And we're going into the 9th, 3 outs away from winning game 1. And of course, it doesn't matter if it's a safe situation. We need this win. Edwin Diaz is going to take them out. He's 5 for 5 in save opportunities in 5 games. He's pitched 5 clean innings so far, a ton of Ks already, and there's one right there. Yo Moncada goes down looking. He didn't like the call, thought it was a little high, but no, that was definitely in the zone. Not sure what he was complaining about. Zach Neto up next. He's going to line one to Pete Alonso, and that's an easy catch. 2 away. Last batter, Oscar Colas, 1-2 count. He's going to chop one to first. Alonso's going to get it, and he's just going to wait for Colas so he can tag him out, and he'll do just that, and the Mets win. Game 1, 6-2, as we got to Reed Detmers early. That big 3rd inning. We didn't even score after that. We really didn't have any offensive highlights after that because we just couldn't do anything. We had that 1st and 2nd, which Brady grounded out, but that was about it. But that was enough as Logan Gilbert and the offense guides us to a Game 1 victory. All right, let's get into game number 2. As we're still at home these first 2 games. We had the better record than the Angels. Of course, we were the first seed in the National League, and they were a wild card team, so we do have that home field advantage, obviously, but we will be going to Anaheim the next 3 games, so this will be big if we can go in there up 2-0 as Corbin Burns on the mound, one of our best pitchers, obviously, this year. Only 2 regular season games, but hey, he's here when it matters in the postseason when we really need him. In the first, 1 out, but Rendon hits a base hit up the middle. And Luis Robert would just keep that in front of him. I think he's done diving, Luis Robert. He's done enough. Mike Trout's going to strike out swinging again on that slider. So 2 out in the first for Brandon Drury. And the 1-2 count, he will swing and miss on a beautiful changeup. So Corbin Burns out of the first, no troubles. We're going against another lefty, Eric Lauer, as he is 1-1 in the one-1 in the 3 starts. He's been good, low 3 ERA and 20.2 innings, 20 strikeouts as well. So he's been good for the Angels. The pitching's a big reason why the Angels are in it. Pitching, and they have getting some timely hits, I would imagine. Anyway, leadoff base hit for Jonathan India starts off this first inning for the Mets. A couple batters later, it's Pete Alonso, and Pete Alonso, 3-2 count. That one's ripped into left field and out of here. Pete Alonso, if you remember, Game 2 of the NLCS, he hit 3 of those bombs in Citi Field. Game 2 of the World Series now, he starts off with 1. So maybe that might not be the last. He likes Game 2 at home, I guess, for Pete Alonso. And nonetheless, 108.9 off the bat. Line drive missile. Home run in the left, and it's an early 2-0 lead from New York. We're starting off early again in back-to-back games against the Angels starting pitching. Next batter, Kyle Tucker. He is going to rip one in the right center field gap. It's headed all the way to the wall. It's going to be a 1-out double for Kyle Tucker. See if we can add to these 2 runs we already got here in the first. Next batter, Francisco Lindor, homered in Game 1. He hits one deep in the right center, or the dead center field, That one is going to 1 hop off the wall. It's going to switch places with Kyle Tucker. Back-to-back doubles. It's 3-0 Mets here in the first inning, and we're hitting Eric Lauer hard here in the first. Next batter, Luis Robert. He's going to poke one in the right field. It's going to find its way to the right fielder through the hole in the right side, in the infield. First and third, 1 out. This is usually double play territory for us, but Soler's going to take a great pitch at the bottom of the zone. Bases loaded, 1 out for Brett Beatty, who, like we said, has been coming through in big spots, and he's going to hit one to right field. Is center, semi-deep, not really, pretty shallow, but it's 2 outs, so screw it. We're going to send Lindor, and he is going to be in there. The throw is offline, so it's 4-run first inning for the Mets as Francisco Alvarez continues to struggle. He's going to dunk one to center, but Mike Trout is right there for an easy grab. 4-run first inning, though. You can't ask for a better start in a World Series game. So in the second, Corbin Burns, strikeout stuff working so far. Had 2 in the first, gets another one there. Oscar Colas, 1-2 pitch. He is going to go down swing. High slider, but a great location. That was pretty unhittable. And going to the third, Angels got a guy on first. Chop to first, Gavin Lux. Alonso throws to Lindor. Lindor back to Corbin Burns, and it's a double play. Finally, we get a double play instead of us hitting into him. And third, Luis Robert up, 2-2 count. And that ball's crushed into left field. No doubt about it. Angry Luis Robert chucks the bat, and it's 5-0 Mets here in the third. His 4th of the postseason. All 4 of them, I think have been no doubt. No, there's been a couple. I think the dead center he didn't no doubt. Anyway, next batter it's Soler, and he rips one into left center field. Trout goes back. He looks up. It's out of here. Back-to-back home runs for the New York Mets. 6-0. And Soler hits his third of the postseason. He started heating up late in that NLCS, and he stays hot. He definitely is not coming out of the lineup now. Ryan O'Hearn, you had your chance, but no chance, not anymore. And another Angels pitcher getting pulled before the third inning ends in back-to-back games here of this World Series. So 6-0 after 3. In the fourth, Brandon Drury would dunk one, beat the shifted outfield, and it's a ground rule double. Had to show this because yet again another video goes by where there's a ground rule double. I'm just kind of in disbelief. Yoan Moncada strikes out swinging though, as Drury stranded on second in the fourth. Going to move along to the fifth. Zach Neto is going to lead things off, 2-2 count. He goes down swinging. Beautiful curveball from Corbin Burns. The rest of these highlights will be some good Corbin Burns highlights, as he had that strikeout stuff working at this point. He was just balling on the mound. Mike Trout, again, already struck out a few times this series. Going to do it again. Nice slider from Corbin Burns. Ends the sixth. Corbin Burns trying to finish the seventh now, too. Brandon Drury strikes out swinging. Pitch count is relatively low for Corbin Burns. That's his 9th K. 105 pitches in the seventh. It's Zach Neto. Lines to Brett Beatty, and Brett Beatty makes a beautiful diving play. He's doing it all this postseason. Big hits, big homers, and now good glove to go with it. He's not going anywhere this offseason, Brett Beatty. I was convinced I was going to trade him at one point, but not anymore. In the seventh, Brandon Nimmo goes dead center, home run, 7-0, as we finally get another offensive highlight. But 7-0, Nimmo's 6th home run of the postseason. Remember, he hit 4 of them in 3 games against Miami, and he only had 1 in the NLCS, but homers here in the World Series. Logan O'Hoppe in the 8th, 2 outs. Luis Robert going back. He can't make that play. It's going to one-hop off the wall. And Robert very slow to bring this in. Hoppe's going to round second, go to third. The throw's way offline. So it's going to be a triple for Logan O'Hoppe, as Corbin Burns is trying to pitch one more batter to get out of 8 scoreless innings in this World Series game. And he's going to do just that. Gavin Lux with a comebacker to Burns, and Burns puts him away. 7-0 after 8. 8 shutout innings for Corbin Burns. We had another great start from our starting pitcher. This one even better than the last. In the 9th, we had Descalfani to just mop things up, but he is going to give up a run. Yoan Moncada hits a double. 1 run scores. It's 7-1. But that would be all the Angels would get, as Zach Neto strikes out swinging on a nice slider, and Descalfani does mop it up, and the Mets take a 2-0 World Series lead headed into Los Angeles or Anaheim. So we are right where we need to be. And this Game 3 coming up could really break this whole series if we can win it. 3-0 up on the Angels. I think that would have them defeated. 2-1, though, that would give them new life, because someone had to be up 2-1 after 3, So this is kind of a big game for, obviously, more so for the Angels, but huge for us. I mean, if we take a 3-0 lead, we could pretty much kiss this series goodbye, and the Mets can finally win a championship. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's win Game 3. We won Game 1 6-2, Game 2 7-1. So dominant performance so far on the mound for Game 3. Another lefty for the Angels, Patrick Sandoval. He's pitched great in this postseason in 4 starts, but we have hammered every lefty they've thrown at us so far. Both starters did not make it past the 3rd inning. So let's see if Patrick Sandoval can do a little bit better. In the first, it's Jonathan India. It's not starting any better. That's a leadoff shot in the gap. Jonathan India is going for 2, and he will be in there, of course, with an easy stand-up leadoff double for Jonathan India. Nimmo's the next batter. He's going to fly one to right field. Colas is there. India is going to not tag, so he'll stay at second. So runner on second, 1 out for Pete Alonso, who's batting 3rd this game, and he takes that one right in the zone. It was a good pitch. Thought that changeup was going to go lower, but no, strike 3. Kyle Tucker will come through, though, in the first. It's a base hit up the middle. Jonathan India rounds 3rd, scores easily, and Kyle Tucker, again, he's off to a good start in this World Series. Has a couple hits in the first 2 games each, and then another big one right here in the 3rd. It was Julio Urias on the mound for us. I did not show his stats because they were messed up. That didn't account any of his strikeouts he got. I'm not sure what happened, but he pitched a brilliant Game 6. He was striking out everyone, and then in that 6th inning, he gave up a 3-run home run, and then we just ended up losing that one. But he's been good this postseason. I can't complain. Jorge Soler's going to ground to a double play here, so that'll kill a rally in the second after a leadoff shot from Luis Robert. In the bottom of the third we go. It's Julio Urias. He's going to give up a shot. That one's headed towards the wall. It will get down. Luis Robert can't make the play. Bounces off the wall. It's going to be a leadoff double for the Angels in the bottom of the third. So they finally got some kind of momentum early on in the game. Joe Adell, who hit a home run in game one, he's going to strike out. Beautifully placed, dotted fastball from Urias. That's only his first strikeout of the game here in the third inning. By this point in the game, last time he pitched, he had like 6 or 7 already. He's going to get a second right there. Gavin Lux goes down swinging, and then Rendon is going to chop to short. But a nice play by Lindor, diving play, gets up and throws him out with time to spare. My goodness, what a play for Francisco Lindor to get out of the jam in the third. Still 1-0 after 3. Beautiful diving play, and still had plenty of time to throw out the slow Rendon. Beautiful job from Lindor. In the fourth, Yoan Moncada, he beats not shifted, but he hits one the other way, all the way down the right, all the way to the wall, down the line in right field. It's a 2-out double. Sorry, I'm speaking so fast. Logan O'Hoppe, he's going to swing and miss on a fastball, though, so the Angels can't come through yet again with a runner in scoring position. In the fifth, they got a guy on, 2 out for Gavin Lux, but he's going to strike out. So Urias has settled into this game nicely, and it's 5 shutout innings so far. Each team with 5 hits, but we got that 1 run. That's the difference in the game. We got the bigger hit, and Kyle Tucker already has an RBI this game. He hits one down the line, and it's gone in the 6th inning. A 2-run shot. Was the guy on first with that one. 4th home run of the postseason. His 2nd home run of the World Series. And yet again, he's no doubt at a ball that barely stays fair. That's like all his home runs in this one. But Kyle Tucker is heating up at the right time. Our big offseason signing is worth every penny, it looks like. In the bottom half of the 6th, Angels get the leadoff guy on, but Mike Trout strikes out again. Urias' 8th strikeout. Then he gets his 9th strikeout. Neto there, and then Yoan Moncada, he will pop this one up to second, and Jonathan India takes care of it. That was the end of Urias' night. 6 shutout innings. Brilliant. Another brilliant starting pitching job for us. We're going to the 8th. Andres Munoz is coming in. Not playing any games now. 3-run game. Munoz coming in for the 8th, and Edwin Diaz coming in for the 9th is the game plan. So let's see if Munoz can get us there. That's a strikeout of Gavin Lux. 2 away in the 8th, and Anthony Rendon up 1-2 count. Munoz gets him swinging. Beautiful slider. Munoz has been locked in as well this postseason, and he'll send us to the 9th inning. Edwin Diaz, of course, another save opportunity, chance to go 6 for 6. That is absolutely brilliant. Still hasn't given up around 11 Ks in 6 innings, so we'll see what goes on. It's Mike Trout leading off the inning. He's due for one, right? Not now. He strikes out swinging on a slider. He's just been a strikeout machine so far in this World Series. Zach Neto, he's going to bloop one in to right. Kyle Tucker's right there. 2 away. We're 1 out away from taking a 3-0 series lead. And Yoan Moncada, he flies one to left. Nimmo comes in, and he makes the grab. And the New York Mets are 1 win away from being World Series champions. We've been the better team on paper, and we have been the dominant team on the field. The pitching has been brilliant so far. Logan Gilbert, Corbin Burnes, and Julio Urias have just shut this Angel lineup down. Our offense has been amazing. This game, maybe not so much so, more back to normal, but still, it's just been an onslaught for this poor Angels pitching staff, as you see there. Look at all the runs. 16 runs for us, only 3 runs for the Angels after 3 games, and we're up 3-0 as Taylor Dollard takes them out. He was not good in the 2 starts, so he's the only pitcher so far for the Angels that seems like he did not do good. Both starts of the postseason so far, so it's a tall ask for this kid as the Angels are down 3-0. But you have nothing to lose, so just go out there and pitch your heart out, right? Anyway, Brandon Nimmo, that's a leadoff double, beats the shifted outfield in the 1st inning, so 1-out double for Brandon Nimmo. Next batter, Pete Alonso. Can he come through? 1-2 count, and he takes a slider at the bottom of the zone. Pete Alonso doesn't like those bottom of the zone calls, but that was definitely in there. Kyle Tucker, surely he's not going to come through again. Well, he draws a walk, so it doesn't really count. But he gets on base. It's Brett Beatty, 1st and 2nd, 2 out, and he's going to fly this one into right. It looks like he missed a good pitch to hit there. So Tyler Dollard out of the 1st inning unscathed. For us, it's David Peterson looking to clinch us a World Series victory. He clinched us the World Series berth in game number 7 of the NLCS, which we already talked about. 13 Ks in that one. He's going to get his first K in this one against Mike Trout. My goodness, he is down bad. He is down tremendously in the World Series, Mike Trout. That will definitely go against his GOAT status. In the second, Jorge Soler, 3-1 count. Line drive to left, and this one is no doubt about it, gonzo. Home run from Jorge Soler. Another 2-run shot for the Mets, and that's his 4th home run of the postseason, his 2nd of the World Series, and it's 2-0 Mets early on, and the Angels, they have seen this story 3 games in a row, now 4 games in a row. Early home runs for the Mets. The long ball has been there, and that's why we're winning this series. Long ball and the pitching is really why we're winning this series. It's all been there. In the second, Logan O'Hoppe up. He's not having a great postseason, but he rips one into left field. That one's going back. Robert looks up, and it's off the middle of the wall. O'Hoppe in with a 2-out double. Can the Angels finally come through with a runner in scoring position? It's Oscar Colas, and he is going to go down looking. Dotted inside corner fastball. So the Angels leave another man stranded. In the third, Kyle Tucker. He's on base again. On base machine in the World Series. Lead off. Well, that's a walk. 2-out walk. Brett Baty. He hits one deep to right field. Looking up is Colas, and it's gone. Brett Baty homers again. Another shot for Brett Baty. His 2nd of the World Series now. We got a couple guys with multi-home runs this World Series here in the 4 games. And Baty goes deep. Next batter, Francisco Lindor. He hits one deep to right field. Colas looks up, and this one's going to go back-to-back again. For the 2nd time of this series, the Mets have gone back-to-back. This time it's Brett Baty and Francisco Lindor. And now he hits his 2nd home run of the World Series. So we got multiple guys with multi-home runs this World Series. And we weren't done in this 3rd inning. Luis Robert rips one down the left field line. He rounds first, going to go for second. The throw is going to be offline, and Luis Roberts in there with a double. So another big 3rd inning from us as Soler's trying to get another run home, but he's going to chop this one to short, and that would be it. But as you can tell, I forgot to show it, Andrew Waynes came in, so that was it. Another starter for the Angels could not finish the 3rd inning. So the Angels starting pitching just getting the absolute hell beaten out of them by this lineup, as Pete Alonso's just going to make it worse. He hits one deep to center field. Trout has us lined up, but no, he can't make the grab. He usually always catches those, but Mike Trout has just been washed this series. All these strikeouts. Now he couldn't rob that home run, and Pete Alonso hits his 6th of the postseason, and he has a multi-home run World Series. It's his 2nd home run of the World Series. My goodness, the bats have just been incredibly hot. The Angels have had no chance. Their pitching has given them no chance this series, and our pitching's been brilliant. But Logan O'Hoppe, it's a 2nd double off David Peterson this game. Oscar Colas, the next batter, and he's going to line one to center field. Luis Roberts there, tagging and going to 3rd is Hoppe, so now they have a runner in 3rd with 1 out. Can the Angels finally come through with the guy in scoring position? The 2-2 count is grounded to 3rd, and the runner can't go anywhere. The only place you can't hit it in the infield. Our infield was back, but he hits it right to 3rd. Joe Adell looking to finally come through, and he actually will come through. That's ripped into the gap, and that one heads all the way to the wall. Robert couldn't cut that one off, so Joe Adell hits a RBI double. It's 6-1. Angels on the board here in a must-win game 4 for the next batter, Gavin Lux, and he is going to pop up to 3rd. So we're out of the 5th. It's 6-1. Angels get a run, though, finally. Top half of the 6th, Brandon Nimmo, he rips a base hit in a right field. Runner was on 1st already, so we got 1st and 2nd, 2 out for Pete Alonso. See if Pete Alonso can come through yet again, and he can. Line drive into center field. Mike Trout can't make the play. Run's gonna score. I think Mike Trout probably should have had that, but no, it drops in front of him. Run scores, 7-1. Kyle Tucker's the next batter. He hits a base hit in the right field. It's 8-1. Kyle Tucker doing good things again at every game. He's been amazing. I think he might be in line for a World Series MVP if we can hold on here. But it's 8-1. Brett Baty, he actually strikes out. It doesn't come through at this point. So finally, this 6th inning's over. It's 8-1. In the 6th, David Peterson, this would be his last batter. A double play to end the 6th inning. Yet again, another brilliant pitching performance. All 4 of our pitchers were absolutely sensational. Logan O'Hoppe has 2 doubles this game, and now he's going to hit a home run. His 3rd extra base hit of Game 4 is the only one that has shown up for the Angels in this one. That one's gone. It's his second home run of the postseason. Angels, again, have their second run and only their second home run of the whole World Series here in these 4 games. In the 8th, it's Mike Trout with 2 outs. He goes down swinging again. What an awful World Series for Mike Trout. I mean, my goodness, that was bad. And Edwin Diaz in to close this out. We're 3 outs away from winning the World Series. No one else should rather feel confident with Edwin Diaz, but especially with a 6-run lead, excuse me. This one's all but over as Zach Neto goes down swinging at the fastball. Next batter is Yoan Moncada, 2-2 count on him. It's going to be another strikeout as he just freezes at the slider. And we're 1 out away. And Logan O'Hoppe, the last chance. He's 3 for 3 this game. But he grounds to second. India Fields fires to first. And the Mets are World Series champions yet again as we have done it. We have won the World Series. Well, what a World Series it was. 4-game manhandling of the Los Angeles Angels. We deserved every bit of that World Series as we definitely just dominated the Angels in that one. Kyle Tucker did win World Series MVP at .357 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. A couple of different guys had 2 home runs. Crazy. So congratulations to our off-season mega signing, Kyle Tucker. He comes through and wins us the World Series, and he wins the World Series MVP. Postseason MVP goes to Brandon Nimmo. He hit .286 with 6 homers. Like we said, he hit 4 in that 3-game Miami series. He cooled down a bit after that, but I guess they're just going to give it to the guy who hits the most home runs, which is whatever. 6 home runs in the postseason, pretty solid number. Pete Alonso and Luis Robert were other considerations for that award as well. So let's jump ahead and look forward as we are definitely doing another season of this. This franchise is not over. Don't worry. I definitely want to do more, try to repeat, try to get more titles with this team. But you can see Terry Francona is going to retire. So we definitely would have brought him back, but he's going to retire with a championship victory. So we totally understand that. So we're going to need a whole new staff. We got a hitting coach and farm director still, and we like them, so they'll stay. But whoever the new manager is going to have to bring in a pitching coach and the base coaches. So we'll get to that in the next episode where we do the offseason and everything. Speaking of the offseason, we do have some free agents to talk about. One, David Peterson. Now, he was brilliant all season and absolutely brilliant in the postseason, but it's going to be a lot of money. And next year we have to sign Logan Gilbert, which I think I might like better. So big decision there. Number 2 is Andres Munoz. We traded for him. He's been brilliant in the back of the bullpen. I want him back. I'm going to try to get him back. We'll see how much we're going to have to pay for a setup guy, or if he just wants to decline and be a closer somewhere else. We'll see. Jonathan Indio, absolutely fantastic all season. He's the leadoff hitter we've been missing. He was great in the postseason. Again, though, we got to see how much. We can't sign everyone back. The budget will just be out of control. And then Soler, I mean, he was brought here to hit home runs in the postseason. DH and hit home runs in the postseason. He didn't do that for a while, but he did do that at the end. He was a big part of us winning the NLCS and the World Series, of course. But he's old. We're not signing him back. He's done his job. We appreciate him. But he, unfortunately, will no longer be with the team after this season. Same thing with Anthony Descalfani. He was brought in here to just pitch decent, and he was going to be way cheaper than our Dylan Cease option, but he was still going to be decent, and he did that. I mean, really, we can't complain with what we got, but he'll be gone. So we'll make some off-season moves in the next episode. We will play the opening day like we do our normal off-season video. Off-season and opening day. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the World Series. Please don't forget to leave a like if you guys are enjoying this series. And if you're watching and you enjoy the content, you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back with the off-season in the next video. See you.